Welcome to the Cardmarket Coliseum!
This time again with Jamin and Carl.
And I'm really happy to announce that we went and found ourselves a bunch of cameras, so it won't look like you're peering through your cell phone when you're looking at the table anymore.
I can't see anything.
They're not on.
There's another awesome feature that will come into play next week. Next week on the Cardmarket Coliseum, there will be a modern mythic champion competing for glory. And I'll tell you what, Carl, we'll face off right now to see who faces them next week.
You mean who loses against them next week?
Yeah, who gets to lose
You
next
are
week.
on, Jamin Carl. Let's do this. The winner of this one plays against a modern mythic champion next time. But while we're talking about challenging, I challenge you guys to find a place where you can buy your decks for cheaper than Cardmarket. Haha, segue. No, I'm serious. My deck was about €1,130 on most websites, and that's without even shipping. On Cardmarket, using the shopping wizard, cheapest first, I found it for as low as €770.
We're Price Brothers. Are you sure we're not playing the same deck? Because my deck also costs around 1,150 online and around 770 with the shopping wizard. So maybe we're playing the same deck.
I hope this is not a mirror match because editing this will be a pain. But one last person we'd like to thank before heading into what this might be. Jamin has been a trusted seller with Cardmarket since 2007, and they have over 700,000 cards, meaning that when we ask them for the cards, they can supply us all of our cards for the matchup. They have so many cards that if you're in Central Europe and you make your order completely with them, even with deck boxes and sleeves, you'll only have to pay shipping once, which will save you stacks on stacks on your next order for your F&M, EDH night, game night, anything.
Yeah, they've been doing this for 14 years, so they know their business. But let's not talk about them anymore. Let's get into the game!
Woo-hoo! So this week we're playing Esper Control, which is a deck you guys asked for in droves. You get a bunch of new toys from Modern Horizons 2, like Dam, which is a 2-mana removal spell that can also become a Supreme Verdict, or old toys that we polished off a little bit, like Counterspell and Vindicate. We're bringing it in with a lot of just slow draw go elements and classics like Teferi and Jace, and see how it goes.
All right, Cardmarket Coliseum is back. I'm back. I couldn't make it last week, but this week I'm bringing another banger because 4-color elementals just received all the incarnations from Modern Horizons 2. They're all elementals. They all have awesome effects. They can be evoked and thus have great synergy with another card from the first Modern Horizons, which is Ephemerate. That card can flicker incarnations so they can stay in play. So all my cool enters the battlefield abilities like Risen Reef and Omnath, all of those can get re-triggered. I can dodge removal with Ephemerate. It's just going to be value. This is going to be super messy and I'm going to misplay a bunch with all those triggers floating around, but I hope I can keep up my win streak against Carl.
All right, welcome back, Jamin Carl.
All right.
Last time you were here, you mopped the floor with me, so consider this my Count of Monte Cristo.
I wouldn't say I mopped the floor with you.
You drew in so many cards and dealt me 500 damage.
I mopped like half the floor with you, and the other half you mopped with me. And
oh, we mopped together.
We mopped together.
Oh, so we rolled?
We did, and I won.
Yes, you're going first?
I will, and before you make your decision,
okay,
I'd like to point out that there's a Kahira in my sideboard that is my companion.
Did you break Tribal Cats?
Maybe I did. I could have also broken Tribal Elementals, Tribal Nightmares, Tribal Dinosaurs, or Tribal Beasts.
I mean, I feel like it's Tribal Elementals, but if this is Tribal Nightmares, you get extra points.
That I don't want to give anything away.
Scoop.
What I will give away is that I'm mulliganing. This hand is technically functional. You know, it doesn't have 2 lands and a 2-mana creature, but without a 3rd or 4th land, I'm really screwed. And I don't even have white mana for Ephemerate yet, so I'm just gonna mulligan this.
I will mulligan as well.
All right, down to 6, both of us go.
In a mid-range matchup, this hand would be awesome. But he has a Kahira on the table, and that usually means an aggro deck. It has so far in this versus match, so I have to ship this. This is way too slow. If his deck is really aggressive, he could go 1-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, and just run me down before that verdict does anything.
Much better. I'll keep this. So this hand still only has 2 lands on the play, so I'm kind of forced to draw a 3rd land at some point. But once I do, I can really get going with this hand. The Harbinger can search out any elemental, probably a Risen Reef, I would assume, but we'll just adapt to the game.
I'll keep this as well. This hand is a tiny bit slower, and it doesn't have double blue for Counterspell and Jace, but it has Vindicate in case he's mana screwed to get one of his lands. It's got Counterspell if I do get the second blue, and I have Snapcaster Mage to block and snap back the Vindicate. We're gonna keep it. It needs some work.
Right. I'll bottom
Both
card.
bottom?
Yeah.
And you go first.
All right, this is, you might not believe it, but turn 1, it's already a tough decision. However, I will play a Misty Rainforest and pass the turn.
All right. I can see how that's a hard choice. I will drop.
I have the choice of playing Harbinger, but I need a third land still. And I don't even know what Carl is playing yet, so the 1/1 isn't really worth it to me. I'm gonna keep it for later to get exactly what I need.
I'll play Flooded Strand and pass the turn.
Sure, end of turn. I'll fetch away this Misty Rainforest.
Okay.
And
You go to 19 or 17? So you go to 19.
I go to 19 and I get a tapped Hallowed Fountain. 19, and then it's my turn.
Yes.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I will play an Unclaimed Territory.
Ooh, what are you naming?
I'm naming Elementals.
You had to go for the tier deck instead of the mono cat deck or the nightmare deck.
I mean, Elementals is what the comments asked for, so Elementals it was.
Ooh, and what a good elemental that is.
It's actually a cat, too.
And a nightmare.
And a Nightmare, so you were right all
So we're
along.
still on, we don't know. All right.
We are still on. All right, and then it's your turn.
I will draw for turn.
Sure.
I'll play a Plains. And pass the turn.
All right, untap, upkeep, draw. First things first, I will attack for 2.
I'll take 2.
So you're down to 18.
Yes, I am. You're currently winning.
I will cast a Flamekin Harbinger.
Ooh, okay, you are playing elementals.
I am
All
playing
right.
elementals. And then I will go search my library for an elemental. All right, I will choose Subtlety.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Actually, it's not very subtle, is it? So I'll put that Subtlety on top of my deck.
Yep.
And then I will play a Sacred Foundry Trapped. And then it's your turn.
I will draw for turn.
Sure.
Play land.
Yes.
Pass the turn over to you.
All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'll put the Subtlety into my hand. Very subtle.
Very subtly.
Yeah, it's very subtle. And does that smell like a control deck to anyone else? Carl just doesn't do anything. And then I will go to attacks.
Okay.
Attack for 3.
I will take 3.
Right.
15.
15. And then it's your turn.
I will draw for turn.
Sure.
Play a Zagoth Triumph tapped.
Okay.
And pass the turn over to you.
I will untap, upkeep, draw. I will go to attacks.
Okay. Keep them coming. I'll take 3.
Down to 12. We haven't found a 4th land, so things are not looking great, but we do have that Ephemerate up. It's your turn.
No 4th mana.
No 4th mana.
End of turn, I will fetch.
Alright.
Flooded Strand.
Yeah.
I'll only take 1.
All right, so you're down to 11.
11.
Am I going to see the first card out of your deck?
No, you must wait. Let's not be hasty. I think Yamin's caught on. He's not playing out his creatures because he's expecting a board wipe. So we have to turn the tables a little bit and put the position in such a way that he feels like he needs to play another 2 or 3 creatures out. Then we can wipe the board and reset. I will put a Water Grave into play tapped. Oh, 4
Ooh.
colors.
Yeah, 4 colors.
I will untap.
Okay.
Draw for turn.
Yes.
Pass the turn.
Pass the turn.
Yeah, let's hold the board wipe just for a little bit longer. I feel like we can get more value out of this.
I'll untap.
Okay.
I'll draw. And then I will cast a Voice of Resurgence.
Oh, that's not okay.
That's not okay.
That is not okay. I will counterspell.
Sure thing. And then I'd like to attack.
All right.
Attack for 3.
I'll go to... What number did I write here?
You did write an 11, so you're,
Okay, so you go to 8.
you go to 8. Down to 8, and it's your turn.
I will untap.
Sure.
Draw for turn.
Yes.
Play a swamp.
Sure.
Pass the turn.
All right, I like hearing that. I'll untap.
My deck doesn't really play that much on my turn.
Yeah, you just... I couldn't have told. I'll untap, draw, and I'd like to go to attacks.
Yes.
Attack for 3.
Before damage,
Yes.
I will cast Kaya's Guile.
Oof. Which modes are you choosing?
I would like to create a 1/1 and gain 4 life.
Create a 1/1 and gain 4 life. Yeah, I guess that happens.
Okay.
So you're
So-
back up to 12.
Back up to 12. I get the Spirit. I declare blocks.
Okay.
Block the Flamekin.
Yeah.
Boink.
Boink.
I'll take 2.
So you're down to 10.
Yes.
Okay, this Kaya's Guile has really taken the pressure off of Carl. Like, gaining 4 life and blocking, the race doesn't look that good anymore. Another Mariner.
I'll counterspell that one as well.
All right, it is countered. And then it's your turn.
Untap. Draw.
Sure.
I'm at 10.
Oh, that Kaya's Guile was a mess.
That Kyle's Guile is so good. I'll go back down to 8.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm going to keep to my word. I say I don't cast spells on my turn, so...
Okay,
Pass
all
the
right,
turn
all
over
right.
to you.
I'll untap. I'll draw. And I will go to attacks.
Yes.
Attack for 2.
6.
Down to 6. I guess it's your turn.
I'll cast Nightcaster Mage.
Oh, that's not what we like to see. I'll cast Subtlety, exiling Omnath.
Ooh, you're really not expecting to hit that land. Having a counterspell here would be a backbreaker, but I don't.
All right.
This goes back on top of my library.
Yeah, and I'll cast Ephemerate with the evoke trigger still in the stack. So
Yes.
this trigger already resolves.
Yeah, this is back on top.
Yeah,
And now this goes back. It's got nothing to counter, but
Yeah.
you keep it and you have an Ephemerate coming back.
I do.
That was very good.
I don't know.
I see what your deck does now. I untap.
Yeah, sure.
I will draw and cast a Damn. Damn, son.
Damn.
Damn, son.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry.
That makes sense. All right.
Pass the turn over to you. What would you like to Ephemerate?
I can't ephemerate anything, and if I'm not mistaken, this stays exiled because of that.
Oh.
So I will draw. Play a land.
Oh, you got there. For the land.
I got there. And then I'll cast a Risen Wraith.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yes. Risen Reef
All right,
resolves.
trigger. Look
Get
at
them
the
rolling.
top, and I'll put a Cavern of Souls into play.
Oh no! Oh no!
Naming elementals.
Yes, that
and
makes
then
sense.
it's your turn.
Ooh, Cavern of Souls and Risen Reef changes a lot of things.
It does, doesn't it? All right, now we're starting to get going.
I will untap, draw for turn.
Yes.
First things first, I will need to vindicate your Risen Reef.
In response, I'll fetch.
Oh!
Down to 16.
Are you gonna be really rude?
I am gonna be really rude. I'm getting an untapped Temple Garden,
Alright.
and I'll cast another Ephemerate, targeting my Risen Reef.
Okay, this is not the Teletubbies. We're all very rude here. I'm going to counterspell that Ephemerate. Yamin and tapping with Risen Wreath could be the stuff of nightmares, so we have to counterspell the Ephemerate. It's too much value on his side.
Oh no, a counter spell. Who could have seen that coming from a control deck? Yeah, I guess we just have to take our losses. That's extremely rude. Alright.
Pass the turn over to you.
I'll draw
2 cards in hand, right?
2 cards in hand, exactly. I'll play a tap Breeding Pool,
Okay.
and I'll pass the turn.
Oh, did we get to that point in the... So, you know this, but for those who don't, my deck wins very, very slowly. It takes a very, very long time and you just watch me draw and you can't really control the game. So I will give you, although we have the rule of never scooping, I will give you a free out here. You can give yourself an annoyance counter, or would you rather a boredom counter?
I'd rather have boredom counters.
Okay,
But I don't want one yet.
Yeah, no, yeah, you don't need one. You can give yourself a boredom counter. and then another, and then a third. And once you get to 3 boredom counters,
I just lose.
You lose the
It's
game.
like Infect,
yeah,
just stronger.
Yeah, exactly.
All
But
right.
they're self-afflicted. I cannot give you boredom counters.
All right, all right.
Okay. So is it my turn?
It is.
I'll draw.
Yes.
I'll pass the turn.
All right, end of turn. I'll use white to cast Solitude.
That's fine.
All right.
Before the end of your turn,
Yeah.
I will cast Snapcaster Mage
Oh no. Yes.
and flashback Kaizga.
Yes.
I will gain 4 life and make you sacrifice a creature.
All right. We'll choose this one. So you're back up to 10.
Back to 10. Would you like a boredom counter?
No, I think I'm still fine.
Okay, you're still having fun.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
still having fun.
Let's make sure that ends.
Come on, one time. I will pass the turn.
All right. Untap. Drop a turn.
Yes.
I'll play a Flooded Sprite.
Sure.
I will go to attacks.
All right, sure. Yeah, hit me.
14.
14.
Pass this turn over to you.
I guess I'll cast Solitude again, uncounterable, thanks to Cavern of Souls.
It's very good.
And I think I will exile your creature. It's kind of a tough choice because it does put you back up to 12. I dislike that, but I will do it.
But I can then block with it if I untap.
Yeah, but not this turn because you attack.
Yeah, that's true.
so-
You can still at least get in for 3.
And maybe you can't even profitably block. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyways, I'll go into my turn. So
Yes.
these Solitudes are really pulling their weight here. And we still have that beatdown plan going on. We also still have access to our companion in the sideboard. All right, untap, upkeep, draw. I will swing for 3.
I'll take 3.
All right, so you're down to 9. I'm back up to 17. All right, the top of our deck is treating us well. We are actually kind of looking good here. I will cast an uncounterable on F. So I'll draw a card.
Yep, that's quite good.
It is. Oh, this is tough. This game is so tough, Carl. This is so exciting. I will pass the turn.
I will fetch.
Yes.
Put a Watery Grave into play tapped.
Sure.
I will draw.
Sure.
Play Polluted Delta.
Yes. Is it time to say damn again?
It's not time to say damn again. It's time to say, well, no one says this. It's time to say vindicate.
I assume you target the Cavern of Souls. You don't?
No, I don't.
Yeah, all right. It's the Omnath. It's gone.
Pass the turn.
You're down to 8, right?
Yes, I am down to 8, which is a precarious life total.
Do a special game action, take a special game action, and put this companion into my hand.
Very well played.
And I'll play another Cavern of Souls, also naming Elementals.
Oh, that's good.
And now this is especially important. It is now double uncounterable.
How do we get around that?
How do you get around
that's
that?
That's fine.
All right. So, and then I will...
I will respond to your attack
Oh, no.
by tapping all the creatures and drawing a card.
I guess. If Carl doesn't find any immediate answers, this is looking very good for us. And I'm saying that after the game looked very much in Carl's favor.
I will draw.
Yes. Go ahead.
I will untap.
Yes. You did count correctly. It's only 7. It's not quite 8.
Draw. I will play a Celestial Colonnade tapped.
All right. Do I smell fear, Carl?
I may be wanting to get fear counters.
Yeah.
Actually, can I get a fear counter? Good. Pass the turn. Would you like to inflict yourself 3 boredom counters?
No, I would like to inflict myself 1 boredom counter at this moment.
All right, 1 fear counter, 1 boredom counter.
Yeah, all right. Untap, upkeep, draw. I will go to attacks. Attack for 7.
I go down to 1. You go up to 15. No,
21.
21.
Yes.
Okay.
And then let's see it, Carl. What's your response going to be?
I will draw for turn. Put down Catacomb.
All right.
I'll inflict myself 2 fear counters.
All right.
I'll fetch and go to 0.
And go to 0. All right. Game 2. During sideboarding, I took out all the Solitudes because I don't really want to exile creatures against Carl. I kept in one Fury because I assume there are a lot of Planeswalkers in his deck, and taking those out might prove very nicely just in time.
Game 2, we're going to bring out all the counter spells. He has 4 Cavernous Souls most likely, and if ever he plays one, the way he can just play out his creatures, they're going to be dead in my hand. So taking all of them out except for one Cryptic command, just because it might at some point tap his board and draw a card, and that might just buy us the turn we need. We'll just keep it in because we don't have enough things to bring in. We're bringing in as many removal spells as we can. We're adding 2 board wipes, and we're bringing in a Baneslayer Angel, just in case I draw it, because I expect that he took out his Solitudes and his Furies most likely. Fury doesn't have Flash, and Solitude only targets creatures, and I don't have a lot of those. If he can't answer Baneslayer Angel, I think I can just turn the table and just ride it to victory. So, and I will keep this hand.
Yes, same for me. This hand is juicy. It has 7 cards, 2 of which are lands. This time I'm a bit more comfortable with only keeping 2 lands because we are on the draw. It has a 2-drop, although I would prefer Voice of Resurgence over the Mariner. And then the uncounterable Risen Reef on turn 3, awesome. I would like to keep Cavern of Souls in my hand for as long as possible, not to expose it to a Vindicate too quickly.
All right, I'll kick it off with a Celestial Colonnade tapped and pass the turn over to you.
All right.
I guess we have to keep this hand. We've got lands, we have Prismatic Ending to get rid of the first spell he plays. Then if he doesn't draw Cavernous Souls, we have the only counter spell we left in our deck to counter draw. And hopefully we can just land a Baneslayer Angel and ride that to victory.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'll play a tapped Hallowed Fountain and it's your turn.
We're mana color twins.
Yeah.
I'll untap, draw. I'll play a Flooded Strand and pass the turn over to you.
All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. It's turn 2 and we haven't drawn a land yet in our 2 draw steps, so I guess I'll have to play Cavern of Souls now. If Carl untaps, plays a land, and vindicates our Cavern of Souls here, we're really in a lot of trouble. Ugh. Yeah, I'll play Cavern of Souls. I'll name Elementals. And I will cast this one. Go ahead.
I will take 1.
Down to 19.
19. I will fetch a Watery Grave, tap.
Sure.
I will untap.
Yep.
Draw. I'll pay 2 to play Watery Grave.
All right, down to 17.
17.
It's a race to the bottom.
Race to the bottom. I will pay 2 plus 1 for the ability to Prismatic Ending it.
All right, yeah. So you pay for the trigger, still pay
And
2.
2 mana.
Yeah.
All I need is to bide some time till the Baneslayer Angel. I really feel like there's no way he kept the Solitudes in against me. I will pass the turn over to you.
All right, I'll untap. Draw. And then it's your turn, Carl.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I will untap.
Sure.
Draw for turn.
Yes.
Play Glacial Fortress.
Yes.
Pass.
All right. We kind of have to hope for the best here. I'll draw.
Okay.
It is kind of the best. All right. I'll play another Cavern of
Oh
Souls.
no, that's doubly good.
Doubly good.
That is very powerful.
Another one naming Elementals. 3rd land. Now it's Risen Reef time with Subtlety as backup. Risen Reef.
Ooh, that one's really good.
And it's double uncounterable. So it enters the battlefield?
Yes, it triggers.
All right,
That's how you get lands.
That's how you do get lands. Another one of those naming cards. I'll name Elementals again on this unclaimed territory.
You're a one-trick pony, Jamin Carl.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, this is getting out of hand. This is not what I expected going in there. I'll draw.
Okay, yes. I like the sound of that.
On second thought, let's wait till he's run some more cards out before playing Baneslayer Angel. I'll play a tapped Hallowed Fountain,
Sure.
and I'll Vindicate your Risen Reef.
Yeah, it's gone.
That card's all sorts of nightmares if you untap and start playing spells.
Yeah.
Pass the turn.
All right. I'll untap. I'll take a draw. Cast an uncounterable Omnath. Locus of
It's a real good one.
So I draw a card,
Yes.
and I will pass the turn.
Oh, no land. All right.
No land.
I will draw for turn.
Yes.
Play a land.
Plenty of lands on your side, though.
Yes. I will pay 6 mana for Kaya's Guile.
So you choose all.
I choose all of them. So first, each opponent will sacrifice a creature. I'll exile all cards from each opponent's graveyard. Then I will make a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token to flying, and I will gain 4 life.
That's very rude.
I will pass the turn over to you.
All right. I'll untap. And I will take a draw. I'll cast another Omnath.
They draw a card.
They draw a card each. Let's draw that card. Woo! We found another land, so this one triggers, so I'll gain 4 life.
Yeah.
Back up to 24.
Back up to 24. You were never at 24, Jamin Carl.
You can't tell me that I was never in my life at 24 life. I have been there before. Go ahead.
I will untap, draw.
Yes.
They land. I will pass the turn over to you.
All right. I will untap, and I will draw. So many cards in hand.
So many.
I'm
I'm playing the control deck. I'm the one who's supposed to have cards in hand.
Yeah, true. Combat, and I'll attack with this Omnath.
I'm so tempted to block with the Celestial Colony here, but I know you're playing Solitude in your deck, which would be a blowout.
Certainly would be. Would it be though?
I'll take 4.
Okay. Down to 17 you go. I'll cast an uncounterable. I guess we'll make it counterable.
Just bait me out.
Yeah, I'll cast a Flamekin
Yep.
Harbinger. I get to search for an elemental and put it on top of my library.
Yes.
I'll get a Risen Reef.
That's a good elemental.
Yeah, and then it's your turn with that Risen Reef on top of my library.
End of turn. I will Cryptic Command, bounce your Omnath and draw.
Sure.
Untap.
Yep.
Draw for turn. I will cast a Baneslayer Angel.
I'll evoke Subtlety by exiling the other Omnath.
Ooh,
So-
got a spare Omnath.
Yeah, got a spare Omnath.
Do you have Ephemerate? That resolves.
Okay, so then
Pass the turn.
end of turn, I'll cast an uncounterable Endurance.
True.
All right, my turn.
Yes.
All right, I'll untap, and I'll take a draw. Move to combat
Okay.
and attack for 4.
I will block the Endurance.
Sure.
Take 1.
Take 1, down to 16. I'll cast an uncounterable Risen Reef.
Those are good.
Yeah, those are good. And then it triggers.
Yes.
So I look at the top card, put it into my hand.
You just have infinite cards in hand.
And then I'll cast an uncounterable Flamekin Harbinger. I will first look at the top to try and find a land. I didn't. This was the card I would have been searching for anyways. So
Perfect.
why even bother? And then I will put a Subtlety on top.
Ooh.
And then that was my turn already. Like, what a boring little turn.
What a boring little turn. I will untap.
Yes.
I will draw.
Yes.
I need Jamin to play out some more creatures before I wipe the board, just to get more value out of my Wrath. I have a plan. If I told you, I would ruin the mystery. I will pay 3 colors to exile your Risen Reef.
It is successfully So I
exiled.
have to decide whether or not I'm gonna ephemerate here with 2 of them already in my hand. I'm leaning towards not ephemerating because I can just keep them in hand until I have more mana to fight about more stuff and interact a bit better. All right, I will untap and I will very subtly
Yeah, subtly.
draw this Subtlety. I will cast an uncounterable Risen Reef.
Oh, those are good.
Those are good.
Those
It's the third one. I'm just all right.
Pumping them out.
Yeah, trigger. I'll put a Flooded Strand into play tapped.
Ooh.
And then I will go to combat.
Swing in for 5.
Swing in for 5.
I'll take 5.
All right, down to 11. Go ahead.
Untap.
Yes.
Draw.
Yeah.
Play a Flooded Strand.
Sure.
Supreme Verdict.
Oof, that is a tough one. Ephemerate a Flamekin Harbinger.
Okay.
All right, so this one leaves play, comes back. I would like to check the top of my deck,
Yes.
put that into my hand, and then search for an elemental.
All right, put it on top of your library.
Yeah, exactly. I'll search for Risen Reef.
Oh, fourth one.
Big surprise. And then this one gets exiled, so I can cast it next turn. I'll
Yes.
put it there as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then, yeah.
That's my turn.
That's your turn? Oh, tough. This is such a tough game, Carl.
He says 8 cards in his hand.
Well, that's what makes this game tough. I don't have any target for this
so it fizzles.
ephemerate, so it just stays exiled. I'll draw this Riven Reef, and I will cast an uncounterable Risen Reef. Big surprise. So it'll trigger.
It will trigger.
I'll put a tapped Misty Rainforest into play, and then I will cast an Unsettled Mariner.
Ooh, those are good.
They are. And then that's... Oh, actually, I get a trigger here.
Yes, because it's a shapeshifter, meaning it's also an elemental and a cat and a nightmare.
Yeah. I'll put a tapped Breeding Pool into play without paying 2 life. We finally have some mana. Between all the Risen Reefs, we accumulated a lot of fetch lands. I intentionally don't crack them right now because I want to keep them around for Omnath. Because Omnath rewards me for having multiple lands enter the battlefield in the same turn. So I'm going to keep those uncracked until an Omnath shows up.
I will fetch.
Yeah.
Going down to 10.
Yep.
For a tapped Hallowed Fountain.
Okay.
This draw has a lot of implication. I'm making sure it's properly shuffled.
Yeah.
I feel like the game is escaping me a little bit. I will untap.
Yes.
Draw for turn.
Sure.
I will pass the turn.
Right. I will untap.
Your many lands.
I do have a lot of lands.
Your embarrassment of riches.
One ways or the other. I'll draw a card. And I will cast an uncounterable Omnath.
Yes.
So
That's the best kind of Omnath.
first I'll check the top of my library and then I'll draw a card.
Yep.
It's a Windswept Heath that comes into play tapped. This triggers Omnath, so I gain 4 life.
And you go to 28.
28. Then I will draw a card of Omnath. Then I will fetch, go down to 27. Actually 25 probably. This is going crazy. I don't know which decisions matter at this point, so I'm kind of just making decisions on the go. Temple Garden. And this is the second time a land comes into play, so I gain 4 mana.
Yep, one of each color, except for black.
True. And then I will pay a 5th mana to cast an uncounterable Revelark.
That's quite good.
First, this Revelark triggers the Risen Reef. I look at the top card of my library, put it into my hand.
What is going on?
I'll try to ephemerate the Revelark.
In response, I will pay 6 mana for an Entwined Kaizgao.
In response, I will ephemerate the Revelark again.
Another one?
Another one!
That resolves.
Resolves. Okay, so this gets exiled because it's ephemerate. This one gets blinked.
Yes. When it leaves the battlefield,
it leaves the battlefield, I get a trigger, I can return up to 2 creatures with power 2 or less from my graveyard to the battlefield. It instantly comes back. So now I have this trigger on the stack, the Revelark trigger on the stack, and another Risen Reef trigger on the stack. I'll let the Revelark trigger resolve first, so these come back. So now there's a Risen Reef trigger. There's
2 Risen Reef triggers. And a Flamekin Harbinger.
Okay, so 2 elementals come into play while 2 Risen Reefs are in play. So I get 4 additional Risen Reef triggers.
Yes.
And I get 1 Flamekin Harbinger.
Yes.
Trigger. First, I'll use the Flamekin Harbinger to search out an elemental. I will get another Revelark. And that one goes on top. And then 4 Risen Reef triggers resolve.
So trigger number 1.
1.
To your hand.
2. Into play. I choose elementals. This triggers on
get 4 damage.
You get 4 damage, so you go down to 8. 6 actually. There's so much going on. I don't know where to start. I'm gonna play this a bit on the conservative side, trying to keep a few elementals back in hand, but maybe I'm too slow. Maybe I should apply more pressure. I really don't know. So now the 3rd Risen Reef trigger resolves. put it into my hand. The 4th Risen Reef trigger resolves. I put it into my hand. Now the Risen Reef, the only Risen Reef trigger of the Revel Arc resolves. I look at the top card, I put it into my hand, and now Kai's Guide resolves. So you gain 4 life, you go back up to 10.
Yep.
I sacrifice a creature. I exile my graveyard.
I get a 1/1 flying.
That is very true. So this ephemerate is exiled. I go to attacks and attack for 2.
I'll go to 8.
Sure. I'll discard.
Yeah, you have no choice.
Go ahead.
I'll untap, draw.
Sure.
Play attack off triumph. Tapped.
Okay. Is that a
I'll
goal?
add myself 2 fear counters. And
Okay.
that's the turn.
All right. Upkeep. The ephemerate comes back.
Yes.
And
what would you like to target?
I'll target the Unsettled Mariner. So it comes out. It goes out. It comes back. I get 2 Risen Reef triggers. 1 to my hand. Second one into play. Naming elementals. I gain 4 life. So I'm on 29. All right. That was during upkeep. So now I'll go into my draw.
I must tell you, Jamin, this game is not going how I played it out in my mind this morning. Wow.
Go to attacks.
Yes, that's allowed.
And I'll swing with the team.
The gang. I will cast Settle the Wreckage.
Ooh, that's a spicy one.
It is a spicy one.
I was thinking about that card actually, Carl. Will you pay 1 extra mana?
I would like to.
You would like to pay 1 extra mana.
Do you even have 6, is it 6 basics
Yeah.
in your deck?
It's actually 5 creatures you exiled.
5.
Don't want to get any lands, but I will get back my Voice of
when
Resurgence.
the
Revel Arc
triggers.
Yeah. And then I'll cast an uncounterable on that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll draw a card.
Yep.
I'll play a Misty Rainforest. This is my second.
Right. You gain 4 life?
No. Yeah, I gain 4 life. Yeah, this is my first. And
How long has this turn lasted?
a long time, dude. I'll fetch, going down to 32.
You can take it.
I'll get a basic forest. So this is my second Omnath trigger for the turn.
So you get 4 mana?
Exactly. And then I will fetch again with the Flooded Strand, this time getting a Sacred Foundry into play tapped. So you...
31, and I go down to 4.
Exactly, 31 to 4. Carl is on 4, which is good news because Omnath deals 4 damage, but I'm out of fetchable lands. Carl doesn't know that though. So then I have 4 mana floating. I'll spend a 5th one to cast a Revel Arc. And then that's your turn.
All right, I'll untap.
Sure.
That was a good turn.
It's also so messy. I'm like sweating.
You're really lucky. Draw. I mean, I don't have a lot of outs here, but I'm going to try to play to them and hope you have nothing, which is unlikely. I'm going to cast a Snapcaster Mage.
I will respond by evoking Subtlety.
Evoking it.
I'm evoking it.
Do you have a 4th ephemerate? A 5th ephemerate?
We'll have to see.
Yeah, that resolves.
Right, this one dies.
Top of my library. I'm just going to cast a Baneslayer Angel.
Okay. This was a terrible play. I'm a terrible player. This is so bad, Carl. Come on, how can I be such a bad player?
Why did you evoke it?
Oh, well, I have my reasons, but... all right, my turn?
Yes.
End of turn, I will cast an Endurance. And
right.
I'll put your graveyard back into your library.
Oh, that's what you meant. You could have played that and exiled it in response to the Snapcaster Mage.
I really didn't want to hardcast the one that I cast first, because then if you somehow wipe the board, I can only evoke this, and that doesn't put pressure onto the board.
Okay, it's your turn.
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
I believe you will remain unpunished.
I wouldn't be so sure.
I'm at 2 Fear Gunners.
All right, I'll draw. And you put that Snapcaster on top, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Well, you put that Snapcaster on top.
I mean, you could have put it on the bottom. That's all I'm saying.
At the time, I had a graveyard.
Yeah. Cast a Revelark for 5. And then I will cast a Voice of Resurgence.
Now you're just showing off.
I'm casting a Flamekin Harbinger. I might be out of Risen Reefs, but I'm not out of Furies. I'll get Fury.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Put on top.
That's a very good one.
And then that's your turn.
And I know what's on top of my library.
You do know what's on top of your library.
I will draw it.
Sure.
I mean, it's unlikely that I get out of this, but I'm going to pass the turn.
All right. End of turn, I'll cast an Endurance.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
I can take it, come on.
I'll put Fury into my hand. I will cast another Voice of Resurgence.
Yes.
And then I'll cast Fury. And I will deal 4 damage divided as 4.
Yes. There goes my spirit.
And then I'll go to combat.
Okay.
I'll swing with the team.
Everything.
Yeah, the team's coming at you.
All
right.
games.
Good games. Oh, that was so tough. I could have just put this one into my hand. What am I doing? What am I doing?
It was tough for you because you had a million cards in hand. I had 2. My decisions were planned out way ahead of time.
Dude, Carl, that Baneslayer Angel almost bailed you out.
Well, there was no bailing to be done. I was done a long time ago. I was just grasping for air.
I just shouldn't have wasted that subtlety. That was, whatever.
You
Anyway,
had too many cards in hand. It clouded your judgment.
yeah, it also doesn't matter how sloppily I won because I won.
Which, congratulations. You know what that means? You know what happens now?
I get to lose next week.
Against a Pro Tour champion.
I mean, yes.
Speaking
Talking
of
about next week, you can leave comments below telling us which decks you want us to play next week. I mean, I picked the 4-color Elementals deck list from last week's comments, and I assume the Esper Control
was from a profuse amounts of demands for control. Speaking of which as well, before Yamin loses next week, please, if you like the content, we put a lot of effort into this, and we'd like to maybe even do it more than once a week or get better equipment. So if you did really appreciate and you just want to find out how to show us, either subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, like it, please, or comment just for the algorithm, or to propose your deck list. We greatly appreciate it, and it helps us go forward. Anyways.
With that being said, see you next week!